Hi, welcome to episode 120 woohoo, of Pink's Picks Book Racks, commentary from a retired high school English teacher. Although we'll continue throughout the school year to traverse the globe transported by books, we conclude our summer vacation travel today to the second most populated country in the world, China. India is number 1. The U.S. is number 3. Daughters of Shandong is historical fiction by Eve J. Chung, a New York City-based Taiwanese American human rights lawyer who focuses on gender equality and human rights. She is also the granddaughter of the novel's protagonist, Haya. Daughters begins with the mid-20th century map of China, followed by a prologue where the main character is fondly, retrospectively remembering her homeland. Chapter 1 then flashes back to Haya's birthplace, Zhucheng, during China's Civil War in 1948, when Haya was 11 years old. Her bound-footed, wealthy, but miserly grandmother has just kicked Haya's pregnant mother out of the house, saying whores aren't allowed in. What transgression has Haya's kind-hearted, generous, faithful mother committed to deserve such wrath? She'd given birth to all daughters in a land where men are valued and women are belittled. Matters get much worse when the communist army arrives asking people about the landowners and the wealthy families so they can make a list of enemies. As a result, the prosperous Ang family decides to escape, but Haya, her sisters, and mother are all left behind to fend for themselves. Without an Ang male to punish for her family's crimes, the land-seizing cadres torture Haya nearly to death. Starving and penniless, but resourceful, mother and daughters forge travel permits and embark on a 1,000-mile journey from the countryside to the bustling city of Qingdao to British Hong Kong and eventually to Hong Kong. The beauty for me of reading historical fiction is that I always learn something. As embarrassing as it may be to admit, I knew little to nothing about China's Civil War. That it follows so closely on the coattails of World War II was news to me. It included one of the largest battles in the entire world in the 20th century, with nearly 600,000 troops on both sides during one specific conflict. Also, the population of Hong Kong had been about 600,000 after World War II. By the end of 1950, the population would balloon to 2 million, and many of the refugees who fled communist China, who used to be lawyers, scholars, and doctors, were fighting for jobs as industrial laborers. I was shocked and saddened that human trafficking was not uncommon at that time. Two scenes remind me of war as depicted in other literature. In one, cadres beat a character to death, then forbade the people of Zhucheng from burying his body. This evokes thoughts of Creon's edict that Polynesians be denied a proper burial, an order that Antigone famously defies. In another scene, Chung writes that in the past there had been stray dogs and cats roaming the city streets, but starving beggars had eaten them all. People were even trapping rats and eating vermin. Though likely a somewhat frequent sight during war, it conjures the Paris landscape in Guy de Maupassant's short story Two Friends, set during the Franco-Prussian War, when the sparrows on the roofs and the rats in the sewers were growing scarcer. I enjoyed Chung's pervasive use of personification, alliteration, parallelism, and metaphor. For example, the sun became lazier, hiding behind clouds and retiring earlier each day to describe the onset of winter. Their arduous journey by foot was shin splintering, spine shattering. After being malnourished, food was joy. Food was love. Haya's neglectful, absent father rarely took a stand for anything. He was a jellyfish floating along with whatever current captured him. What I love most about Daughters is Chung's juxtaposition of the kindness and compassion of people. Some who were barely better off than Haya, her mother and her sisters, people who were willing to help or share what little they did have, that juxtaposed with the pure evil and parsimony of Nene, Haya's grandmother, toward her own daughter-in-law and granddaughters. Pink's Picks author Kate Quinn calls Daughters a powerhouse debut. Writer Jamie Ford says it entertains, educates, and inspires. I agree with both of them. I call it an A. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing for those of you who have. Before I go, I want to point out that I am in the newly renovated and recently reopened Sawyer Free Library in the gorgeous Gloucester, Massachusetts. With that, be safe, make good choices, and do your homework.